Ubisoft released the Crew 2 beta, and I got an invite to the game, and I didn't really care, I was going to jump in here just to see if the game improved since I played it at E3 2017, and when I played it at E3 2017, I was very, very disappointed at what I played, because what I played literally did nothing to correct the issues of the first and original Crew game, but all it seemed to do was add stuff. Oh, we're going to have boats, we're going to have planes. And I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about your boats and your planes. What I care about is if the game plays well and if it is a good game. And so I decided to check out the Crew 2 beta just to see if it was improved. And when I first got into the game here, and I have to say that, this is the PC version that we're seeing right now. I have to say that I think they did a good job optimizing this game. It runs well. It doesn't particularly look that impressive, but it does have moments where you're like, oh, those are some nice details especially on the cars and whatnot. But I think the game is optimized well and it runs well, so kudos to them for releasing a PC game in its beta form that's optimized, and I'm sure the console versions are going to be really well optimized as well. But let's talk about the gameplay, right? When I first got into the game, I was like, okay, the controls seem pretty good now. This is kind of fun. They seem responsive. I don't seem to be having all these weird issues that I was having with the demo I played at E3. What I was playing at E3 was basically, similar to what you guys are seeing here. They had like a startup section and whatnot, but they gave me a Porsche in this game. I'm having a lot of fun in this Porsche, and it's zippy. You're going fast. You feel the car is responsive. You can do these drift and handbrake turns, and it's just great. The actual controls were like, oh, okay, this is very much improved. What I played at E3, the car was stiff as fuck. It was like barely moved. The brakes like barely worked on the damn thing, and there was rubber banding everywhere. And some of that stuff is still present. For example, they still have the weird hit collision system where if you hit something, your car bounces off of it. It's the rubber band effect. Like it's sort of like a balloon, like boom. It's just weird. So you still have, those type of issues that are going on, but the actual controls were fine, right? And then after this, they gave me a car to choose from in my class, I guess, my division. They call it a discipline. Ooh, it's a discipline. So in my discipline, I got to choose between a selection of cars, and in that discipline, I decided to go with the Audi TTS, right? And I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. So I'll choose this Audi. I'll get it in a nice, beautiful yellow color. It's a gorgeous car, and I'll race it around. And then the issues cropped up again, and the car was stiff as fuck. It barely moved. I think my dad's lawnmower moved faster than that thing. It was, the acceleration was like, this is a $70,000 to $80,000 Quattro car, from Audi. Like, the thing can run well. I believe it has like a V8 engine or something. Like the thing's fucking powerful. Don't tell me that the acceleration is shit. Well, it is in this game, but don't tell me like it is in real life. It's just ridiculous. So I'm playing with this Audi, and the thing just barely fucking moves, and the controls are stiff, and I can't seem to get a beat on anyone, and it does fine in the straightaways, right? And then I'm just like looking around, and I'm like, okay, besides the cars, this doesn't make any sense. Now, unlike the original Crew had like this very serious storyline where you were trying to, I think your brother or someone was framed, and they had this beautiful CGI cutscenes which had like realistic animations and faces, like. It was just kind of hilarious because you're playing this driving game, right? And then you get like this serious storyline as if it's trying to like win an Oscar or something. But they did away with that, and they went with a more casual, hey, there's this worldwide event that's going on, and we have races, and for the most part it makes sense. You're like, oh, I have this worldwide event, so that explains like how you're able to shut off the entire city and how no one's in the vicinity within like fucking 50 miles. They explain it to the best of their ability, right? The funny part is even though they explain it to the best of their ability, they utterly fumble when doing the world building of it, which, you still have the entire United States to explore, right? Which is like you had the entire United States in the last game, so you still have the entire US in this game. Why not include Canada, or no, it's just to have something different. It's just the same fucking areas. I mean, I could have swore like I visited these places. I'm sure they're a little bit bigger. They've added a little bit more density here and there, so it's a little bit more varied. So I'm sure there's some difference, but I'm just like, this is the same map. It's the same fucking map. I'm traveling through the same country. Can we get some variety here? Can you open it up or something? It just was like, this makes like no sense to me. Regardless, I trucked on with the game, and then I'm driving around. I'm realizing, okay, they claim that they have this event here and that it's a known event, and you can. I mean, the guy even says like, "Isn't this illegal?" He's like, "Well, technically, yeah, street racing's illegal, but we have this event that's going on." So I mean, it's like in the lore that this event is taking place. My point in mentioning this is that what's hilarious here is, again, you think it's a big event. They're going to get everyone out of the racetrack area so that you can't hit pedestrians. The funny part is you'll see random pedestrians on the sidewalk, and I'm not talking like groups of them. I'm talking like just like one random person, as if he snuck through security and is trying to get to his office to work, and he's freaking. You said that you have people walking on the sidewalk, and then you hit them, and then they just teleport somewhere, and it's just like, what's happened? This makes no sense. You might see them as I'm driving around in the game here, but I'm like, it just makes no sense. It's like, what's going on? So like I'm playing this game, and then all this questionable stuff is happening around me, and the controls are weird and stiffing up for at least the slower cars. The Porsche I drove was fine, and just on top of that, you have this weird structure of how things are presented. For example, now I guess they have a loot system. So whenever you win races, big glowing things appear out of the street. They literally just like pop up out of nowhere, and then you go and you drive over them, and then it's like fucking Destiny's loot system in this game. It gives you a part so you can put it onto your car and upgrade your car. And it's just really bizarre. I think I like Need for Speed Payback's card system more than I like this loot system. It's just weird. You see these big glowing things in the road. I'm supposed to like it's fucking Mario Kart or something. Am I gonna get a fucking banana or a mushroom head? Like, what is going on in this game? So. And it's hilarious because they actually did away with the cool customization of the original, which is it takes the whole entire car apart and you can edit individual parts of it. Like, that was like a really cool, thing that the original crew was doing, and that's completely gone in this game. You don't have that level, at least from what it seems like. You don't have that level of I guess creativity when it comes to your vehicles. I was impressed with at least them giving you your first vehicle here. I got to choose my color of the fucking wheels and everything like that. You have to realize, like, for me, I'm a little bit annoyed automatically, because this is by one of the developers I have a lot of respect for, and the developers who worked on this game made the Test Drive Unlimited series in the past. And Test Drive Unlimited has always been one of my favorite racing games. Despite its issues, just the concept of that game was brilliant, and no other racing game like it really existed. So I really love that concept here. The crew too here is all of the worst elements of Test Drive Unlimited in a game. Like, it doesn't make it just doesn't make any sense to me. You would think that they would take that formula and build upon it and make something spectacular, but what we have here is a flash in the pan online only experience that is bare bones and lackluster. Like, I really just feel like the target audience for the crew is not for me. It's not for people like me who care about racing games and want a competent experience. You know, Forza Horizon is a very, very fun game, right? But it's a competent experience that does pay attention to differences in surface detail, whether you're driving over mud or concrete, and it's a game that has differences in the way the cars feel, and it doesn't have stiff ass controls, but instead takes elements from the Forza Motorsport, simulation series, and then says, okay, how can we treat this to be a little bit more accessible? And as a result, what you have there is a game with a very varied experience. Not to mention, the game is fun to play because of all the epic stuff happening around you. I don't care that I'm in the United States. I live in the United States, I mean, maybe it's cool for people who don't live here, but I just don't care to explore. Like, there's some beautiful parts, but because you have this entire country to explore, what you get in each major area, let's just call it, is bare bones and lackluster. It's like the bare minimum, and nothing really looks that pleasing. What you guys are saying, I mean, this is the game pretty much maxed out. I have most of the settings turned on ultra here, and the game just looks cartoony, animated. It just doesn't scream to me like, hey, they care about the experience, and that could be due to the size and the online nature of things, but I just, I don't know. I really am curious to see what others think as well, because I thought the original crew didn't do well at all. I thought it was kind of a flop, and I'm really surprised that Ubisoft decided to continue on with this series. However, based on what they said before, hey, we're only interested in making franchises. That's the only thing we care about. I guess it's smart from a business standpoint, but I mean, I just don't feel like this game is worth it, and I'm just, a lot of people are gonna say, oh, it's a beta, it's just a beta. Well, this game comes out next month, and actually, I think at the end of June is when this game's release date is, and they're releasing a beta May 31st that I'm recording this. Tomorrow's gonna be June 1st, so they're releasing a beta less than a month, pretty much a month away from it, when the game releases. That's not a beta. That's not something that you could actually take and put constructive feedback in. Like, oh, everyone says the controls suck. You can't change the controls of every single car and ship the game and print the game on discs in less than a month. You just can't. There's too much work involved, So, I mean, I feel like the Crew 2 is DLC for the Crew. I mean, really, to be honest, it's probably what the original Crew should have been. It's a more, fun, arcadey, hip hop type of experience rather than this really serious storyline. And you're here and you're working with, weren't you working with some girl like who belonged to like the government or something? It was something really dumb. Like why are they putting this in the driving game? So like they took, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This game just has a very bizarre feel to me. Like I just don't. Something just doesn't sit right. Maybe it's just because it's not made for me. It's made for like the twinks or the twinks, the tweens. It's made for the twinks and the tweens. I have no idea, but oh my god. Yeah, I there's really not much I can say on this. I mean, what you see here is literally what you get, and what you get isn't that particularly fun to me at all. However, I may be wrong. Some of you may love the game, and that's great. Congratulations. But I just don't care about what I played here. And as someone who played the original Crew and was like, this sucks, I'm not really sitting here saying, wow, what an improvement. I'm looking at this game and I'm like, this feels like DLC, or this feels like a mulligan, hey, let's do it again and we'll do it slightly better. It just doesn't feel like, it just doesn't sit well with me. I don't know. Anyway, I'll talk with you guys later. Again, let me know what you think, and yeah, have a good one.